dynamic lady behind Dawood Global Foundation and Ladies Fund, TARA UZRA DAWOOD, is in a mission to change the world for a better. In this special edition of Pinnacle, she enthusiastically talks about her ambition, aspirations, and accomplishments.
Age is unconnected to pursuing passion. If anyone at any age, whether they're 15 or 75, has a dream or a goal, as long as they pursue it, work really hard, it's possible. I'm someone who has a lot of goals for my life and I'm willing to work really, really hard. And so like many other people who do the same, I'm able to, fortunately and with the grace of God, accomplish many of the things I set out to do. But it's always still up to hard work, determination, focus, resilience, and a lot of God's grace. So it is a blessing for anyone, first of all, to be part of a loving family. The most important thing is having love, respect, and support and nurturing at home to pursue your goals. In terms of a career in particular in business, which is the focus of my work, business is something that is inbred in all of us in my family. We've been raised from a very young age. My father always said, very few people are blessed to be job givers and job creators. So I take that very seriously and feel that it's a true blessing and a responsibility. I'm usually on the boards that I've been in historically the only person with both legal and financial experience on the boards. So that's a wonderful opportunity for me to contribute. In the case of Pakistan State Oil, I've been very honored to chair the audit, the HR, as well as the IT innovation committees. And so that is not only an ability and opportunity for me to contribute, but it is also a great learning for me. So giving back is very important to me, as well as being able to give to others. In the case of Ladies Fund, being able to honor women, it began with the first true awards for women in Pakistan, and then of course to have trainings for entrepreneurs and professionals, our Millennial Series, our supply chain work, our nominating women for loans with the State Bank, the various different avenues and ways in which it contributes. And now we've had Educate a Girl, where we've been educating girls vocationally for jobs, which is even more important during COVID, where many people have lost jobs. We also have our wheelchair and program to distribute 10,000 wheelchairs across Pakistan, as well as our food rations, which we've done 6,500 so far. What does it mean to me? I think it's a great, humbling honor to be able to serve anyone in need. Every single thing we do for anyone else, we're so lucky to be able to do. And so many people in my life have done for me. And so it's amazing how we're all connected. And the mentors I've had in my life, the people who've shown the way for me, inspired me, and given towards me, even my team and colleagues, some of whom are here today, the amount that they contribute and inspire me every day is what fuels all of us to feel our cup is full enough to give to others. So it's a very, very blessed and beautiful part of our lives. And we also thank all our donors. Nothing's possible without others as well. So I was deeply honored to be invited to represent the oil and gas sector in an advisory capacity for Asad Omar and those putting together a policy for the sector. And so it was an incredible opportunity. I worked with some of the best minds in the entire industry, and we worked hard. We did a lot of research, and then our end product was coming up with suggestions for the policy that most recently came up for the sector. So that was really, really interesting work, great learning, and a wonderful opportunity to work with some of the best minds, and of course to present to someone as intelligent, accomplished, and important as Asad Omar. So it was a great honor. I believe that every single human being has struggles, impediments. Some people talk about them, some people are collective to a group, whether it be a minority group, an ethnic group, a gender group. But every single human being has impediments. So we all need to be strong enough to overcome the obstacles that come in our way, because life has both obstacles and blessings. When it comes to women and children in particular, in some cases, they don't have as much of a voice. When you go to more of a higher level of impact, and you talk about women on board seats, for example, it's very strange to look at it that many of the companies that sell to women have historically not had women on boards. So it seems almost absurd that if the target market is a particular segment that's not represented on that board. When you go to the other extreme and you go to some of the most struggling members of our society, they are actually some of the hardest working women in our country. And in some cases, if you look at, let's say, a class of maids, for example, in many cases, they're the sole bread earner. They may have up to 8 kids even, and their husband may be an alcoholic or a drug addict. And so there's a whole different set of impediments. Next week, we're starting in our Lean in Pakistan Foundation, the Divorced Women's Support Group. And this was approached by one of our Ladies Fund Award winners who has been very resilient after her own marriage failed, and she wants to share her story and learn from other stories. And so that's also an impediment. I was speaking with one of the most powerful senior women in our country. We were on a flight last week together, and she was talking about the challenges of getting her daughters into top universities. And because she's working and she divorced, and her children had a different home environment than, let's say, some of our mutual friends who have a loving home environment, and the parents are able to tag team even in helping the children behind the scenes in preparing for what they need to get into university. So that's also an impediment. So we could go on and on about impediments, and we're not even talking about health issues. Separate from COVID, many people struggle. One of the reasons we're doing our 10,000 wheelchair drive is some people in wheelchairs are some of the most unseen people. And as you know, historically in countries and cultures like ours, people are lifted up onto shoulders to even have mobility. You've often seen that in videos of Hajj or Umrah, or experienced it there. In Pakistan, many times people don't leave their home unless someone's lifting them. Obviously, women are not going to be lifted that way as men. Similarly, in transit and transport, as you know, one of the biggest impediments to girls working and women working is they have public transport issues. Some are harassed on buses, rickshaws, and Kareem are a little bit more expensive for daily use, so companies provide vans. What does vans do? It means they work shorter hours than male counterparts, and then how does it become competitive for career growth or the brainstorming sessions that often work after the official work hour? But also in terms of women getting to and from work, one of the impediments is they aren't using motorcycles. So today women slowly have started, it's becoming more normal for women to be on motorbikes, which is a cheap, efficient, quick way to get back and forth. But it's nowhere near the numbers. The typical woman in Pakistan is not on a motorbike, whereas actually a very large percentage of young men are. So those are just examples of many of the differences that can affect career growth and plans, though none should be an obstacle for the success if someone wants it. I have been very lucky to have been able to study at the institutions that I wanted to study at. I think that's the most important thing. I wanted to learn certain things, and I had very clear, focused ideas what I wanted to learn, where I wanted to learn it, and who I wanted to learn from, and I was very lucky in my life to learn from those masters and those places. I actually did economics and law undergraduate with 3 theses, and including one was specializing on Jane Austen, and particularly The Sound of Her Silence, which was revolutionary work at that time, as most people had focused specifically on her wit and wordplay, and I focused on the moments of pause and silence in her literature being some of the most powerful. Since then, a lot of body of work has been done on that. In economics, I studied as well, and both were preparing me for my work in business as well as law school. I always intended to do law, and I was very lucky to do that. I specialized in mergers and acquisitions, IPOs, particularly white knights and hostile takeovers. I also did my minor in Sharia law and finance, and both trademarks and entertainment law I had been very passionate about. When you want to scale and expand, the most important thing is having amazing people. We're very, very lucky that our team is extraordinary. Because the team is so extraordinary, giving them ownership, my role needs to be vision and the ideas and troubleshooting. In an ideal scenario, it would be the teams who run each of the projects, and each of the team leaders would be empowering those under them to fully run projects. And it's a continual process, but very, very lucky that we have extraordinary team members and growing. So I think I fail almost daily. It's one of those things. And one of the things that one has to be the most resilient about is hearing the word no. If you want to succeed in anything in life, you're going to hear 10 no's for any yes, and you have to have thick enough skin to handle that. And so in all the projects we do everything with full heart and passion. And so if you're facing 10 no's for a yes, sometimes 100 no's for a yes. That yes is what is seen by social media, the public eye, but those 100 or 99 no's is what we have to live with, and I know I have to live with, and it happens every day. There's many, many more no's, and I'm really grateful for that one yes that makes our dreams, our vision, and most importantly, our impact come to fruition. So I'm extremely lucky because, I live very close to the office, and I spend my evenings are with my family, and I live with my parents, and I'm very blessed to spend quality time with them. And also I like to go for my run, which is very important to me. So those are my priority areas, and whenever there's a social activity, I'm able to enjoy that as well. So it's really nice, very blessed. And also when you have an amazing team, what's great is that you can manage your day where everyone knows what they need to do. So it enables you to accomplish a lot more. So sometimes, because we have so many international partnerships, I'll be doing 12 a.m. and late night international calls. And the team is always supportive and makes that possible. And so it does take a village. Be yourself and believe in yourself. The biggest regret many people have is if they live somebody else's dream. If you are doing what you love and you're putting your heart and soul in it, at some point it will succeed, and you just have to believe in yourself and go for it.